Hey guys, welcome to Geometry with Gabby. Today we're going to be doing right triangle trigonometry. Let's dive right in. Here we have a 3, 4, 5 right triangle. So our first function is sine. Sine is the opposite side of the labeled angle over the hypotenuse. We would write the equation out as sine of theta equals 4 over 5. Next we have cosine. Cosine is the adjacent side of the marked angle over the hypotenuse. The equation for this one is cosine of angle theta equals 3 over 5. Lastly, we have tangent. This is the opposite side of the marked angle over the adjacent side. And the equation would be tangent of angle theta equals 4 over 3. So, an easy way to remember this is SOHCAHTOA. Let's practice with an example problem. Bob was flying a kite with a 35-degree angle of elevation. The string of the kite was 60 meters long. How high up was his kite from the ground? Before we can actually solve the problem, we need to have an accurate diagram of Bob and his kite. Now we can write in our equation. So we do sine of 35 equals x, the opposite side of 35, over 60, which is the hypotenuse of this triangle diagram. So then we have to simplify for the sine of 35. So the answer on the board is actually incorrect. It's actually 0.573576 equals x over 60. So then we have to multiply each side by 60 to isolate x. So what you just saw there is just a correction of the answer. Then when we multiply by 60, the right answer, not what's on the board, is 34.4146, which will pop up right now. And then that means that our final answer is 34.415 meters. Now, let's move on to inverse functions. We're going to start off with a simple equation, tangent of x equals 39.3. So our goal is to isolate x. To do that, we have to multiply each side by the inverse of tangent, so we can cancel the tangents out. So that would be the inverse of tangent times tangent of x, and then 39.3 times the inverse of tangent. So then the two tangents cancel each other out, and we get x equals 39.3, or the inverse tangent of 39.3. So when we plug it into the calculator, we get a final answer of 88.542 degrees. So the process is basically the same for both cosine and sine. So I've just sped up the equation a little bit so you can still see how it works, but the process is the same. It's just the only thing that's different is what you enter into the calculator. Let's do one last example problem. So we have a right triangle labeled V, W, and U with an angle of 58 degrees and a side of 7.9 feet. So what we have to find is the length of UV, the length of UW, and the measure of angle W. So let's start with the side UV. The side UV is adjacent to the angle of 58 degrees, so we're going to use tangent. Tangent of 58 equals 7.9, the opposite side, over the adjacent side, which we don't know, so we put x. So we simplified to find the tangent of 58, and we're actually, this time we're trying to isolate 7.9, so we multiply each side by x, and then that ends up where we have to divide 7.9 by 1.60033 to get our final answer of 4.936. So we're going to repeat the same steps to find the side UW, but this time we're using sine because we have to find the hypotenuse, so we're doing the opposite over the hypotenuse. So as you can see here, we're repeating the same steps, there's just different numbers involved, and we end up with a final answer of the side UW equals 9.316. So we'll fill that into our answer part here, and let's move on to the last part. Finding the measure of angle W is probably the easiest part. We just have to add 90 plus 58 to get 148 and subtract it by 180 to figure out the missing angle, which is 32. So there you go, guys. That's the example problem. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something.